welcome to another episode of the Herd Main Show. I'm your herd leader, John Wayne.
And I'm your herd mom, Megan.
And this is not going to be a normal episode.
Absolutely not.
Is there even a normal? Genuine question. Is there a normal?
There's a normal.
There's a normal, but is there a
Garfield's
normal?
Friend. There's a Heathcliff as well. I don't know. Have we ever had normal episodes?
We've tried.
I think
that's
very
the
hard.
daily goal of Nerdherder is to try and be normal.
But you know what? I got the best compliment last night from my brother, Justin. If you're listening, you're cool. He said that
Who also has a podcast.
Yeah, right? I think it's called A Little Bit of Optimism.
Attempted Optimism.
Thank you.
Optimism. You can find them on SoundCloud currently.
Yes. He's a rapper. No, he's not. It's my brother who is... He has niche interests, and I love him dearly. But he said that he loved our podcast. And I was like, oh. Thank you.
It's always nice when people say that.
Yeah.
It's always nice to know that this thing you pour love into is received and also loved.
Yeah, and since you're the only one listening, Justin, you're my favorite.
He's not the only one listening.
Your
brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But not the only one listening. We have a pretty good audience, actually.
Yeah, we do.
A pretty rad and dope audience.
You guys are, in fact, dope.
Who constantly endures our madness. I don't know why, but we do appreciate it, because as we said, we pour a lot of love into this show, and if life were willing, we'd pour even more love into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's part of, us saying, this is not quite a normal episode. Part of that's because life right now is not normal.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Certainly
think
not.
From what I've seen on the social medias, almost everybody is experiencing that abnormality.
Mm-hmm.
There are some weirdos. There are some who are just a part of the system, like me, that are just...
You're essential, is what you are.
That's what they tell me in on the paper.
Meanwhile,
but
I work at a mall.
Right. A lot of people are affected by this one way or another, because even my normal has changed, even if I haven't been quarantined and all this other stuff. And so it's just kind of madness in life right now. When...
Just a lot of isolation.
Yeah.
Today you tried to hand me something, I took it and threw it over my shoulder, just getting used to the isolation.
That's a good hermit joke.
Thank you.
As positively as we could have looked at it when all of this was kind of starting to hit, it was...
When the quarantine hits.
Yeah. It was kind of thought of, okay, well, surely this will give us more time to do stuff we love. And we've got a lot of creator friends and who are experiencing quarantine. They are experiencing shutdown. Mm-hmm. And that is providing them time as creators to create more of what they love. And that's awesome.
Yeah, I cannot wait for the amazing creative boom that's going to happen right after quarantine.
It's already happening.
Right?
And that's the beauty. We've thought we would kind of get to benefit from that, make some good out of it. But my job has gotten crazier because of it. And so while, you've had a little bit more time from your work, but as far as me, it's been insane since this began.
I appreciate a retail worker today. Because
appreciate good grammar.
Yeah, shut up.
I love you.
Don't hug them, but
yes,
appreciate from afar.
Socially distance yourself and appreciate them.
It's hey, you're doing a great job.
Because there's retail workers that have to keep enduring this regardless. So, all that to say, our original plan, we were on track and we thought, okay, this is going to be cool. We'll have more time to record, hang out with the cats. Teach Boba some new tricks. It'll be great. Yeah. That didn't quite happen, so us recording now, we took a week off to be able to kind of figure life out with this stuff.
Yeah.
So this episode is kind of us just kind of catching up and doing what we can in the midst of the chaos. We're not going to be able to do... If you have been keeping up with the last few episodes, we left off with doing character arcs. So
yes,
we're in the middle of talking character arcs in the sequel trilogy, and we had a really great episode on episode 7. We did an awesome 2-parter and had our friend Jesse guest on the second episode. We had some good stuff with that, and we will finish that. Our whole plan was to look at each film in the sequel trilogy. The last one left is episode 9, and we are going to finish that. We are going to complete that. But right now, I mean, basically, there's a lot of touch and go with this in terms of we thought we would have this day and then it didn't work. My schedule changed or something with yours opened up or something, and so there's a lot of flexibility on our part that's having to happen, and so because of that and not having a lot of certainty, we really didn't have 100% for that final episode of this character arcs trilogy that we're doing. We didn't have the stuff to make it 100% and make it quality, the kind of quality that we would expect of ourselves, that obviously you as the fans and listeners would expect. So this episode's a lot of just, hey, we're still alive, and kind of catching up and chit-chatting, flying casual, if you will. And we will be back with episode 9 character arcs soon. I would say next week, but we have a special guest episode next week. We're sitting down with friend of the show, Michael Marisi, comic artist and comic writer, that you may have heard from before. He's been on the show twice already, talking about Star Wars and about his 2 novels that he has out. And if you don't know, he's working on a new Clone Wars comic series that begins in April, next week. So when that premieres next week, if you can't tell, I'm tired. This show should be evident. New comic series comes out starting April 1st, and it'll be every week of April. And also on April 1st, as you're reading your new Clone Wars comic, you can listen to our episode where we interview him, talk a little bit about that series, but he's also working on Star Wars Adventures, and a couple of other awesome stuff. So, I mean, we love everything he does. So we'll probably talk about a lot. So we'll have a special guest episode next week. But then the following week, the second week of April, we should have our episode 9 character arcs back. So
yes,
between now and then, if you are on quarantine, if you find yourself isolated, now would be a good time, if you haven't already, to listen to those episodes where we talked about episodes 7 and 8. Or if you listen to them but want to stay fresh for when we talk about episode 9, then you can re-listen to them or re-watch them if you happen to catch this on YouTube. Also, to acknowledge the YouTube people, this episode's going to be a little weirder. It's going to be audio only. So right now you're just looking at a pretty screen, but you're hearing our beautiful voices. Yeah. So there you go. We don't know
what's on screen right now.
Our recording setup is very different than it normally is. So, but the whole idea was we had time, and last minute today we decided, all right, let's do something. We've got to do something. We need to do something because I don't think a lot of people. I don't know if a lot of people get how beneficial this show doing it is for us.
Yeah, definitely. Like, talking about Star Wars is something we absolutely love to do, but just talking in general, honestly.
Right. Anything to break the monotony. But no, I mean, it's really beneficial doing something like this. Just as therapeutic and nice as knitting or building Lego is, recording this podcast on a regular basis is good. Whenever we don't, we miss it. We feel it. We don't like canceling for no reason. We don't like not putting out episodes regularly. It affects us. And so, we were like, we need to do something today, and we were like, well, can we do the full thing? No. Quick evaluation? No. But we can do something. And so that's what this episode is. It's not going to be your normal length. With some people may appreciate that it's not an hour and a half long. Lately, we've been sticking to a good hour.
Usually, yeah.
Which was like one of our New Year's resolutions was like, we're going to do hour-long episodes.
And much like other New Year's resolutions, we failed immediately.
But we picked it back up somewhere in spring.
And then we started doing 2-parter episodes.
Exactly. So that was something new. we don't normally like interrupting topics. I mean, you know, there's different things from creative juices being interrupted to
gross.
Also, like, it's one of those things where it's like you're so into something to have to stop and, you know, pick that back up. Normally we don't record week to week. Sometimes it'll be a few days apart. But like even a break, like you can lose some energy. You can lose some, like, even some ideas you might have had. That's one of the beauties of, like, whenever we get together and talk about an episode, like, sometimes a lot of stuff just comes out on the fly.
Yeah.
Like, some things just produce by talking about it. And if you stop what you're doing, that stops that production, and it can be a little awkward. But we knew we would have extra productive juices by having Jesse in on the next episode, so it kind of balanced out, I think.
Yeah.
I hope that, you know, that went over well with everybody, because, I mean, that was new for our listeners as well, so hopefully everybody liked the two-parter, and hopefully everybody appreciated Jesse, and I think he added some input.
Oh, yeah. And we definitely plan to have more episodes like that. Like, for instance, my brother Justin, he's talked about, like, being on the show sometime. Like, and
he's got to pass a very rigorous application course.
Do you like Star Wars? Yes. Okay, you're in.
How many Star Wars shirts does he own?
Like, he wears a uniform most of the time, so...
Even, I mean, I do. I
I
wear the same uniform pretty regularly. And my wardrobe is still mostly Star Wars.
Excuse me, sir. Are you wearing a Gundam shirt?
I am.
Currently on our Star Wars podcast?
I am. You didn't have to sew me out like that. Miss Blank Sweater.
With holes in it? Because it's my home sweater?
Right.
You didn't have to call me.
No, but yeah, we love guests. We had a good few guests there for a while. Every time we have a guest, it's really great. You know, bringing them in on the topic or interviewing, it's always nice, and it always creates a fun show and everything. So
it's also funny whenever someone steps into our recording room and you get that initial, like, whoa.
Right, yeah.
Like, if for context, we haven't done an office tour like we've said we've wanted to do for a while.
Like you said.
Like I said, because it's interesting and I like it.
I consented to having my things on camera.
Yeah, basically. But, like, we have a lot of stuff.
We have a lot of stuff. We do.
Been collected over many, many years.
Yep, so many years of fandoms and nostalgias and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, not a normal episode. We're doing what we can with the energy and with the setup that we have, and just making sure that we get something out to you guys to let you know, yes, we are still alive, and also give you something ridiculous to listen to if you choose to expose yourself to this, right? Like, if you consent yourself to this weirdness, then here it is. But one of the things, so again, we are not on quarantine. We are not fully isolated. I literally cannot because of my job. You aren't. You've had more time than I've had.
Yeah.
You know, but the problem is you're here. I'm not. And I can't exactly telecommute for that.
Very true.
But obviously a lot of people are isolating and quarantining and dealing with it. As far as Star Wars goes, like, what would be your first... well, what have you been doing with your time in general anyway? Star Wars or otherwise?
Star Wars or otherwise. Well,
not to put you on blast. I mean,
fine.
I'll talk too, but...
Yeah. You watched The Phantom Menace without me.
I did, because you were at work.
I get a text in the middle of the day that's just a picture of you sitting on your chair watching The Phantom Menace.
Yes.
I got...
To be fair, I was sitting in the chair, not on the chair.
Shut up. I got upset.
Yeah, because, like, that was one of those days where... that was, like, last Friday.
Yeah.
I worked Monday through Thursday and had Friday off, and then you worked all day Friday. And that, like, that's been our life lately.
It
where,
really has.
Like, I get a day off, and it's, the one day you're gone all day. And I'll work on some stuff here and there, but also, I mean, just selfishly got to take care of myself.
Yeah.
I had to recharge, so I put on the best thing I knew, which is the Phantom Menace.
I'll be honest, I haven't been doing a lot of Star Wars stuff to really chill. Like, we did a puzzle together.
We built it.
We built it. But
reconstructed.
It's missing
Yeah,
a piece.
it's freaking annoying.
It's missing one piece, and it's right in the middle. We'll post a picture on Twitter.
I was over that until you said
like,
something.
I wasn't, because I'm staring at it.
I feel
right
like
now.
we're going to put... you know what? Like, I feel like I want to put it up just to screw with people.
Yes.
Like, I still want to hang it
Yes,
up.
please.
Like,
it's,
so
it's Mod Podged.
We got through this thing, and it's a very muddy art piece of... it's a Star Wars poster, but it's very muddy, and so there's a lot of pieces that are just black or brown or red, and it's like...
And
there's so many
troopers.
options where that could go. What the heck? And all throughout, we were like, man, I swear.
Where the heck does this go?
If we're missing a piece, I swear, you know, and then...
I'm going to X-Acto knife Maul out of the poster and just put that up.
I really feel like our dog ate the piece, honestly.
He probably did. Like, Boba, we love him so dearly. But he's a menace.
And I'm trying to remember, it's like the top of Luke's head.
He's a puppo menace.
Well, you'll post a picture.
I'll post a picture,
I'm putting you on duty for that.
Okay.
But you'll see...
Because you're going to pass out
It's
right
noticeable.
After this episode. Yeah.
It's noticeable. It's annoying. But I feel like just to mess with guests, we should still put it up.
Oh, absolutely. We're putting it up in the living room.
But no, so we did do that. We did do that. And that was not therapeutic at all. That was so freaking annoying.
I've been dipping into my record collection a lot more lately.
You started the puzzle.
I did.
I don't remember what I was doing.
You were taking stuff out of the box.
Oh, okay. I was unboxing
stuff.
You started on that, and then you went to make dinner, and I kept working on it. And then I got, like, furiously into it to where I could not stop until it was done.
Yeah.
Which was part of why, like, I was so tired. I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
I was just wanting to relax.
You wanted catharsis.
But I'm one of those people, when you introduce something like that to me, when you put a puzzle or a problem in front of me, I'm not going to involve myself, but as soon as
someone brings you in.
Right. As soon as I'm in, and I have to see it through. And so, like, you were like, you know, we don't have to finish this tonight. No, we have to finish it tonight. I need to sleep. I won't sleep if it's not finished.
You're like Monica from Friends. Out of all, like...
Which one's that? Is that Tina Fey?
What?
Is she not that? Oh, no, it's Courtney...
Yes.
Courtney Cox?
Courtney Cox. Formerly Courtney Cox Arquette.
Right. Oh, yeah, they did hitch.
They did hitch, didn't they? But yeah,
Jennifer Aniston's the only friend that matters on that show, let's be honest.
You're not wrong.
For reference, I don't watch this stupid show.
You've never watched Friends.
I'm sorry, it's not a stupid show because I don't watch it.
No, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to start a flame war on Twitter. Like, no.
I have many a friend who likes Friends, so I have to be careful.
I don't like The Office.
Well, you're just wrong. No, which one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't help you there. I like the American version.
I don't like either.
I think the British version's a little too dry for me. Mm-hmm. But that was the first introduction I had to Ricky Gervais, so there you go.
Very true. Like, I have seen a ton of episodes of The Office because I lived with my brother Ryan for 17 years.
My thing is, I don't so much enjoy the show. I enjoy the quotability of the show.
Yeah. Like, I will quote to the day I die, well, how the turntables.
It's just so funny. It's mostly Michael Scott and Dwight.
Yes.
Occasional. Well, I more so do the look rather than quote.
You do the look a lot.
But
yeah. Speaking of characters, I don't know if like this is veering way to the left.
There's no script here.
No. But like we were talking at the store today because there was no one in the store. And there was a conversation going on about The Witcher, which is most of my conversations with my friends now. Mm-hmm. And we were assigning characters to different people in the store. Like, oh yeah, I don't know. I think they're Geralt. I think they're Yennefer.
Who ended up being Geralt in the store?
My friend Lisa.
I don't know her, so I can't judge. But
she's muscly. Like,
muscly?
She's muscly. She eats her spinach.
That's a word.
Like, it's wild. But Travis is Yennefer.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And then,
let's not name too many names.
No, of course not. Immediately, when I said, well, who's Jaskier? I got 3 fingers pointed at me. And I was like, what does that mean for my personality?
You are a bard at heart.
I am a bard at heart. This is the same people who told me I have big bard energy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ugh, I do love a jaunty tune. But anyway.
So we did the Star Wars puzzle.
We did the Star Wars puzzle. The thing that I've been talking about for months finally came out. Just interjecting in the podcast every so often. I've been playing the heck out of Animal Crossing. Because
as has half of the internet.
And I love it.
My Twitter feed is mostly Animal Crossing snaps and related stuff. Every now and then it matters to me, but generally it doesn't.
It's mostly because it's Gundam stuff that pops up.
Occasionally. Like, some people have done some cool Gundam stuff, Star Wars stuff, seen some cool Naruto stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the shirt designing that's been stuff I appreciate.
Yeah. I've been going between Animal Crossing and Stardew
fish.
Valley. Like, oh yeah, the big fish, which I still haven't caught. We're getting there.
There you go. I hear you can catch a shark too.
You can catch a shark.
It's pretty cool. So yes, I can confirm since Friday that has been your life, Animal Crossing.
And the new Sims update. Like, I've been playing Oblivion again. Most of my life has been like video games lately.
We did. Well, we've been keeping up with Clone Wars, which has been a nice like weekly look forward to.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the last episode. I think
I'm glad we're in a new arc.
Yeah, she gets some good character.
That sounds bad.
No, but like
I liked Bad Batch, but I guess it's because I know it's not a full season. I know there's going to be a lot of smaller moments and character moments from now on versus the first 4 episodes, which were very traditional Clone Wars action and very just like very action heavy, very I mean, any clone heavy episode has a lot of sort of brotherly rapport to it, kind of thing. Like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like it's just a very different feel for sure. And like I said, now I'm looking forward to the character stuff. Not that character stuff didn't happen. It's few and far between with the action of Bad Batch, though, for me.
Yeah.
And I think that was the big thing with Bad Batch, especially with like the Bad Batch, the characters Bad Batch, and whatnot. It's just a lot of, you know, your very surface level characters. You got the sniper, you got the heavy, you got the tech, you got the leader.
You got Solid Snake, you've got the Hulk.
Yeah.
You've got Donatello, and you've got Solid Snake again.
Right.
No. He's more like Deadshot.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just, you know, and that's not to limit their characters. They're still cool.
And then now Cyborg.
But it's really straightforward. It's really cut and dry. It's good. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know what you're getting. It's very straightforward, but it's good. But there's a lot of good that I'm looking forward to for these newer episodes. I mean, with Ahsoka. I mean, obviously Ahsoka is the main pull. Having Ahsoka back in focus and the promise of the Siege of Mandalore. There's more stuff here that I'm like, this is going to be big. And also, I just think there's a little bit more room to breathe. I felt like there was just so much shooting and action and, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's, again, like, it's not a full season. So, like, in a full season of 22 episodes, you know when you get your action episodes, you know when you get your character episodes. With us only getting 12, I guess I'm just picky, where I'm just like, I want as much character as I can get.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for Bad Batch for sure, but for me, being someone who already considered them canon and everything, I didn't feel like I was getting anything new. Versus what's happening now, where this is all very new character development with Ahsoka.
This is brand new for me.
So
least.
I mean, like, because you know, if you don't know, like the Bad Batch, and even parts of this episode, this past week with Ahsoka, parts of that were already done in story reels. So technically the episodes existed and were not disproven, so they were canon. And it was kind of one of those things. So for me, Bad Batch was always there. Yeah. I already knew Echo was alive. I already knew what happened to Echo. So, it's for one of those things for me where it's like, I'm enjoying this because I'm seeing it realized, but I'm not enjoying it because I'm seeing it for the first time.
Yeah,
versus
I get that.
Ahsoka's arc, where they've made some key changes between what was in the story reels to what's now. So I feel like I'm not only appreciating, wow, this is the story reel, but better, but I'm also, hey, this is what they've changed in the story reel. That's new. That's cool. So, I'm processing differently, as usual.
Yeah. And we're also watching this right alongside Rebels, which has been like whiplash from back and forth. And also G Gundam at the same time. Yeah. Which, if you've never watched a Gundam show, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could probably find a good synopsis, but basically it's like giant robots in the WWE.
Yes.
But every wrestler represents a country.
It's like Punch-Out with giant robots.
That's what you quote it to, yes. Yeah. I feel like more people know WWE than Punch-Out, though. A random video game.
My fellow Nintendogs.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's giant fighting robots, basically, which is very different, because normally Gundam is the name of every show in the series.
That's what the mobile suits are called.
But they're not all connected.
Yeah.
It's giant robots. Normally, you use them in place of, like, tanks and planes. Like, they're military equipment.
They're mech suits.
Exactly. Versus this, where, like, literally, it's, wrestling kung fu fights in giant robots to see which country will reign supreme.
Think about the Budokai episodes of every season of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, you mean the tournament saga.
Whatever.
You gotta speak to the non-initiated people.
I'm sorry.
You can't assume everybody knows.
Think about that, but with giant robots.
Yes.
That are so glam that you don't even know what's going on.
This is an era of anime. It is an anime, by the way. This is an era of anime where it's super duper freaking pretty, though.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. But
so it's
so
super,
ridiculous.
It's super goof, but it's so pretty.
Every episode ends with the giant robot being defeated by the power of love.
Pretty much. There's a super mode where he turns gold and everything, because that was all the rage at this point. Super Saiyan had come out.
One of these days, we're going to talk in detail about Gundam and the Gundam series. But
we still have our other podcast domain out there. We're just waiting to be filled with content. People don't realize how much Super Saiyan changed the game. People don't realize how much when Goku went Super Saiyan, everything about super modes or level ups changed. That's when you got Supersonic. That's when you got a whole bunch of other, like, oh no, he's got to have, change forms. Oh, it's such a meme now of this is not my final form, but it's like legit. Like when Goku went Super Saiyan, that changed the game.
Yeah. Frieza started it.
Even giant robots go Super Saiyan because Goku. So it's really interesting. So, and that's a good thing. It's like, I mean, and that's the Dragon Ball is all the rage now. So again, that's things that fueled G Gundam.
It really is getting a resurgence. Like, it's wild seeing kids now who...
They talk about anime I can't even pronounce, man. I mean, if one more of our teens comes up and talks to me about freaking My Hero Academia...
Who cares? Honestly. Sorry.
I can't tell them apart.
There's a guy whose... His power is pants.
I mean, I need that power sometimes. I don't know.
Like, he's literally just pants.
Well, and then there's JoJo.
Okay, I gave up on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like, it's just too much for me right now. I need an anime that's going to make me happy, not one that's
the
gonna
last new
make me
anime
question.
we got into, I think, was One Punch.
And that,
You liked Attack on Titan. I didn't.
I liked the first season of Attack on Titan. Mm-hmm. And then,
the song.
Yeah, just because of the song. I love hearing it.
So we have mentioned, so we've been keeping busy the time we've had together, we've been enjoying some things, Star Wars or otherwise, and I watched the prequels this weekend. while you were at work. I watched that and did some work from home. And but for those who might be doing some hard time behind the bars of their own home, what are some things that you tend to find help you during extended periods of, I've got this whole day to myself? Like, what are some things you usually busy yourself with? That'd be good advice.
Buy The Sims. The Sims is very important now. Like, that's one thing that I busy myself with. But I have started crocheting recently, and it has helped with, like, having something to do with your hands. It's great. Just doing anything creative, really. Like, organize your stuff. Paint a picture. I painted for the first time in, like, a year the other day. And it's something that just... It expresses my feelings.
Right. It just came and it was just random.
Yeah. It started off with a Post-it note picture. And then all of a sudden I'm doodle journaling and painting again. And just, like... Stress makes you creative, apparently.
In general, I mean, I heard Shakespeare wrote something.
King Lear.
Okay, sure. I'm not.
Read a book, John.
I've read the good book in most Star Wars ones. I'm good.
Ah, yes. Tarkin.
Is that the good book?
No. Death Troopers.
I mean, it's
is
a
the
good book.
Death Troopers is the real good book, but I'll do the audiobook.
It's a good book.
It's
special. It's
great.
reasons why we enjoy and are thankful for the new canon initiatives.
Yes.
As great as Star Wars Zombies are.
Listen.
It was wild.
Specifically the audiobook is just a beautiful mess.
Well, and that's another good one. The Tross episode 9 audiobook is out, the extended edition. Yeah. It's all out on digital.
Dooku Jedi Lost is still out.
Yes, it is.
Buy it.
It's getting I want to say... No, I'm thinking of a different book. Never mind. But it's always relevant. It's always relevant and good for Dooku Jedi Lost. I was talking to somebody recently about that. And because we were talking about the character of Dooku, and I was referencing that, and they hadn't read it or listened to it. Yeah. I not to deny money from any particular avenue. We listened to it and we read it. I will always recommend its original form first, audio. It was really well done, a really good cast. Yeah. But obviously also you can probably order it on Amazon. Never mind, they're shut down.
Barnes & Noble. You
can Barnes & Noble it. But if nothing else, you can also go digital. No hate for digital books here. We get the good stuff in physical, but I mean digital works just fine.
I think if we're gonna buy it in paperback, we're usually more likely to buy it.
So is that your book recommendation?
Dooku Jedi Lost is my book recommendation for Star Wars.
Okay. You can get comics digitally as well. You can do Comixology. That's where we do a lot of ours. Bounty Hunters is a new series that is currently out. It is canon, and it has been out, I think, 2 issues now. And it follows, obviously, Bounty Hunters. Somewhere around the period of episode 5. I'm behind on comics right now. Been too busy, but I hear it's great. But, you can check it out for yourself and let me know. The Rise of Kylo Ren is on there. There's a few other good ones that I think are out there, but I'd recommend those more recent ones for sure. So reading is a really good way. Reading is a really good way, and by having extra time, don't just find yourself reading to read. Like, okay, get through a book in a day. Like, you could do that, but take time to process what you're reading too. Like, I always tell people to not rush their reading. And I'm generally talking to people who are content creators, so they're reading it fast so they can talk about it fast. Really let yourself marinate and feel what you're reading or listening to. Really process it, because obviously, like, anybody that's seen a movie at least twice can say the second time around you probably saw or picked up on something or thought of something you didn't the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do it the second time. We just tend to because we rushed through the first time. So take time and process whatever you're reading. Highly recommend those comics and books mentioned and everything. That's a really good way, reading.
Yeah. And if you don't want to read Star Wars, Good Omens. Great book. Fantastic novel.
Great show.
Great show.
Great show.
Such a great show.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is, I mean, it doesn't have to be completely Star Wars, for sure. There's other great books, there's other great shows out there.
If you're a fan of graphic novels, Lock and Key. I recently finished that series. It is absolutely wonderful.
There you go.
And there's a TV show coming out.
I think it's out now.
Is it out?
I think it's out now.
I haven't watched it because I've been reading
I think our friend finished it. She was telling us about it when we were getting nostalgia for Witcher.
You're right.
Not nostalgia, but we were missing The Witcher.
We are missing The Witcher. Honestly, it's been shut down for season 2 because of the COVID panic. But
it shouldn't have taken so long. Y'all should have known it was a hit. Do what The Mandalorian's doing and film your next season while the current season's airing. Come on.
Yeah. But I'm glad that they're staying safe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing in all this is,
I want there to be a season 2.
Be mindful and sensitive. Nobody's experiencing normal right now. Everything is weird. I was talking to somebody at work today, and that was our whole conversation, was nothing is normal right now. Have patience, have compassion, stay encouraged, because if you are stressed out because it's not normal, I guarantee other people are as well. And
yeah, go ahead.
The best thing we can do right now is be sensitive to each other and to the situation, rather than create extra chaos and panic by getting all frustrated and flustered because it's different.
And don't get upset with people if they step back when they're talking to you.
Yeah, I mean, social distancing is super important. What we're doing is super important, and what's encouraged by whatever administration and leaders are in place nationally, statewide, regionally, over your city. Like what they're encouraging us to do by distancing and staying safe and apart is for the greater good.
Yeah.
We have to not think of just ourselves and what we want. Like we've got to think of the greater good, and the greater good is helping stop the spread of any possible. It doesn't have to just be COVID-19, just in general. Anything that could be passed around that could be negatively affecting to anyone else's health right now is no bueno.
I think we should reintroduce carrier pigeons. I think that would really help with social distancing. That's how you got the
bird flu.
No, because birds can't carry the flu because they're government drones. Birds aren't real, John.
Birds aren't real. But no, I mean, it is what it is. But stay encouraged and just follow whatever guidelines are set out by health officials and whatnot.
Yes. Listen to doctors. Please listen to doctors.
The main thing is like things we love. We tell someone, and then that someone tells someone, and that someone tells something. We can spread viruses and disease and other illnesses just as easily. And the problem right now is how fast COVID-19 can spread. So us distancing and taking time apart and taking time to isolate is, again, not only good for us, but it's good for everyone. And so, just stay encouraged and motivated during this time. And, check out books, comics, try some new hobbies, do some things that can keep you motivated and distracted each and every day.
If you want a new podcast to listen to, I've talked about it a million times. Listen to Sawbones. It's one of our favorite podcasts.
Or listen to ours.
I
mean, you're hopefully already doing that.
Please.
Share it so someone else can.
Spread us like a virus.
Spread us. Don't spread COVID-19. Spread Nerdherder.
Ding.
But, now's the time. And also, don't be unproductive. Don't be lazy. As nice as hobbies and reading and fun stuff is, use this time also. I mean, if you've got stuff you've been saying you're going to get rid of or unpack or go through, do that. Take the time while you've been given it and do that. If you've been talking about, I want to repaint this room, hey, you got some time, do that. Like, don't just spend the time selfishly, but also use it for your own good. Redeem the time.
Yeah.
If you've got stuff on your to-do list, basically.
Yeah, but don't overwhelm yourself.
Well, no, but...
Yeah.
The last thing we want is to get through all of this and have spent all the time on ourselves and have 12 new shows we've watched and 2 new hobbies, but we still got the same amount of to-do list on the fridge. So, like,
you see,
be wise.
This is where our personalities kind of collide, because you're Sporticus. I'm Robbie Rotten.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we can, we're number 1, all right?
Uh-huh. You and the voices in your head. But no, be productive is the main thing.
Yeah.
And by being productive and staying active, that'll make all of this go by better. It's so easy to just sit and watch Star Wars or read Star Wars and whatnot, but, use this time for yourself as well to get some things done, to learn some new things, to try some new things, and just stay safe and stay cool.
Stay cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you kids.
No
cool.
No need not being cool for a pandemic. Stay cool.
Excuse me?
It made sense somewhere.
To someone out there.
So, again, not a normal episode, but we wanted to put something out, and good conversation on. Good conversation.
Yeah.
All in all, again, next week we will have a special guest interview episode for you. And then 2 weeks from now, we will have we'll pick back up with our character arcs discussion. Don't forget to check out our previous episodes about character arcs in the sequel trilogy if you need to catch up or if you need to refresh. But hopefully, hanging out with us for this little bit of time was good. Certainly, just taking time to talk Star Wars and just talk in general about something other than COVID-19 and work and all that stuff has been nice on our part. So if you like it, you can like it on not Facebook, YouTube. You can rate it on iTunes. You can do all that fancy stuff and let us know and let others know you like it. You can also share it because now's about as good a time as any to get into podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So someone maybe will get into the show by you sharing it. And so remember, share COVID-19, not Nerdherder. Or share, no, the reverse of that. Oh my gosh, I'm almost causing a pandemic.
Okay, so John's going to go sleep.
I'm going to go sleep, and then...
I'm going to play Animal Crossing.
There you go. But you guys are going to stay cool and awesome and do all that stuff. And we will be back. We will be back. Someday, one day, eventually. But we'll always be in your heart. Nerdherder will always be in your heart.
Like a deadly virus.
I have probably been your herd leader, John Wayne.
I've definitely been your herd mom, Megan.
Stay scruffy, guys, and may the Force be with you, but not COVID-19.
Take a long nap.